Ready, everything's ready, guys. Game number 2 that I'm casting today for the Chinese close qualifiers. iG.V versus LGD.Forever Young. Miracle Half in July Dogfight Super versus Yao Afu, another Super, Monet, and Inflame. Coming through for the side of LGD. Those last couple bans coming out here. Bane Clockwork being banned out by iG.V, followed up by a Wisp and a Beastmaster ban from LFY. Lesh being picked up, first pick yet again here for the Chinese side. iG.V picking that up. LFY though pick up the Lycan. We'll be seeing a push. Won't be surprised if we see something like a Jakiro or yet another pushing hero just being picked up. You know, you don't want all of them to be banned out. The Jakiros, the Nagas, you know, those kinds of heroes. Having a Naga as well as a Lycan is extremely strong, not just for the pushing potential that you have, especially with the Howl, but the minus armor coming through from the Riptide. You can put a lot of pressure on, and it's two semi-tanky melee heroes, especially with the Wolves that you have on. I've even seen Lycans being run in the off lane with a Naga support there. Just having those Wolves constantly sending them in, the Naga going in, getting the Riptide off, just A-clicking the Wolves onto an enemy support, and by the time they get back to the tower, the supports are on half HP. Well, let's have a quick look at what chat's saying. I love talking with chat. You guys are awesome. You guys really have been amazing in chat so far, so thanks so much. For those of you guys that don't know who I am, my name is Riddit, RidditZDota. Check me out on Twitter at RidditZDota. And let me know what you thought of today's games. Game 1 was iG versus Team Serenity, and Team Serenity took that game. It's a best of 1. So congratulations to Team Serenity. iG just not playing the meta, so to speak, you know, playing like you would a year ago. And Team Serenity seeing that, moving us forward, letting the PL split push. PL would always, as soon as a fight starts, always join, even though you would join late, you would join, he would clean up. Last 2 fights from iG looked very strong, looked very good. It just wasn't enough. The team composition coming from iG, the Ravage, the Song, everything together just felt discoordinated or unsynergized, I think would be a better term for it. And Serenity just played their part extremely well. Okay, next pickup here. Took some time. LFY decided to pick up the Sand King. Most likely going to be that pos 3 Sand King. Maybe pos 4. We'll actually wait and see. iG.V ban out the Bristleback. So maybe thinking it's going to be a pos 4 Sand King. Bristleback being banned or taken out here. Night Stalker followed up from LFY. Oh, no, wait. Those are the previous bans. What am I saying? It's 6 a.m. in the morning, guys. Excuse me. I'm allowed to have one slip up every now and then. Those bans were from previous. Still back like onto the 3 months ago drafting method. The second pick here was the Sand King from LFY. Second pick from the Witch Doctor for iG.V. So Lesh Witch can do a lot of damage. Can actually run that in a dual off combo. If you manage to get a good coconut into Maledict, into stun from Lesh, into lightning from Lesh, just that alone will actually put out a decent amount of damage. And Death Prophet being panned out here from iG.V. LGD.Forever Young, take out the PL. I do agree with that. A PL comboing with a Lesh, with a PL being able to actually frontline, jump into the fight, you can't focus a PL as well as a Lesh. And you really need to focus a Lesh down, because the longer the Lesh is part of the fight, the longer the Lesh is active in the fight, the more damage he does. But the same thing goes in regards to the PL. The more illusions he makes, the more he can pressure out your supports with those illusions, the more he can actually take control of the fight. So very good ban coming out from iG.V. LGD decided to take out the Phantom Lancer. The iG.V decided to take out the Bloodseeker. Give me a second. Let me just take a quick sip of my coffee. Calm down. Relax. There you go. I'm back. Bloodseeker being taken out by iG.V. Bloodseeker as well as the Lycan. 2 very fast-paced heroes being able to run around the map. So a good combination there. If you can get a ulti off onto someone, a rupture onto someone, Lycan will chase that person down. He'll be forced to stand still, which is always awesome for a Lycan because he can just stand and right click you and do a crap ton of damage. You have the Sand King there as well that can follow up with a stun, epicenter, the bar strike, everything to combo with that. LFY take out the Underlord, Pit Lord. Quite an interesting one. I'm actually a fan of a Pit Lord, especially in the current meta. I mean, we've even run the Pit Lord like in a safe lane role. I know it was done like a year ago as well. Pit Lord got heavily nerfed. But having that Pit Lord being able to reduce the damage, being able to just stand and fight. Once again, Pit Lord is one of those heroes where if heroes die around him, he'll do a lot of damage, really a lot of damage. And he can stand there. Once again, you have to actually focus a Pit Lord. It's not like a hero that you can technically just ignore in a fight. And if you have a hero like that, the Lesh is just going to take control. Dazzle being picked up by LFY, so I think that's going to be their 4 and 5 support combo. It might still be a pulse 3 Sand King, but I doubt it. iG.V, okay, wait, let's just have a look at what chat is. It always bothered me that FY is on the LGD that doesn't have FY in its name. That is actually the player FY playing for the main LGD team, but not for the LGD.FY team. Elder Titan coming up, a good frontliner for the side of iG.V. Elder Titan is technically a hero that you can ignore after he's got his initial spells off, so it doesn't fit the same build that the PL or the Underlord would have. LFY decided to pick up the Wind Ranger, so like in Wind Ranger, a lot of pushing potential and a lot of teamfight potential. The problem coming in on the LFY side is they aren't as tanky as you would like them to be. Sure, Lycan is, but still you need a couple of items up to actually be able to take that amount of damage that the Witch Doctor Lesha combo will do, especially with the Elder Titan coming through there. The big thing is LFY has the Dazzle, so if you jump with someone and you can't burst them fast enough, the Dazzle will actually step in. The Dazzle will up your armor, and then Elder Titan is just going to be like denied. iG.V pick up a Tide Hunter, so pulse 4 Elder Titan. This is a best of 1, guys, as far as I'm aware. So keep in mind, there's like a 5-minute delay in game as well as on stream. So you guys, if it takes me 5 minutes to respond to something in chat, it's 5 minutes. Can't really do anything about that. And bans coming out here. Faceless Void being banned up by iG.V, by LFY. Sorry, these like 3 iG.V, LFY. It's like we were having a joke about that in game number 1 about the three letter names coming through. So I'm just mixing them up right now. But LGD or LFY banning out the Void. Let's look at that combo. Yeah, I can see a Void working there. Especially with the Witch as well as the Lesh. Can actually do a significant amount, even if you catch the Lesh in the Chrono. Like if Lesh is busy with a Pulse Nova, with Edict, with everything, and there's 3 heroes on top of the Lesh, you jump onto the Lesh, you Chrono your own Lesh. Because you'll be able to technically kill an entire team. And iG.V ban out the Monkey King. I could see Monkey working for LFY. It's, I still think they're going to run the Wind Ranger in the offlane role. They could technically put Wind Ranger solo safe and run Lycan Dazzle plus Lycan Sand King Dazzle in the offlane. I actually wonder how they're going to run this. iG.V running through their reserve time right now, jumping into the reserve time right now. 14 seconds left. What's going to be the last hero? Make sure that no one's disconnected. Nope. Taking up all the time. And oh no, wait, that wasn't reserve time. I think they still had reserve time. Dragonite. So iG.V following the same kind of strat that IG was had, just with 2 different supports. I mean, I like this draft a lot better than iG's draft. Let me put it that way, with the Elder Titan and the Witch Doctor. If I was iG.V, I would put the Tidehunter solo safe, and I would run aggro with the Lesh, the Witch Doctor, as well as the Elder Titan. I think they need to do that to put pressure onto LFY. They need to actually utilize the aggro try or the meta a lot more. Running an aggro try or the aggro duel. Remember, Elder Titan can then just rotate through to mid, can put a lot of damage off. With the Elder Titan and the Dragonite, you might not be able to get a kill, but you can force super on the Pugna completely back. You can use up all of his consumables, force him back to base, which just gives Dragonite that extra level. As soon as Dragonite hits 6, if you have the Elder Titan that can actually come in, get a stomp off after the Dragonite stun, you might be able to kill the likes of a Pugna. He does have Decrep, but then you have Dragonfire Blast to follow up with, which will do more damage. And if you don't do that, you have the right click. So this is a Dragonite draft that can actually get kills in the middle lane. But it's going to be interesting to see if iG.V actually decide to run that aggro, or they're just going to put the Tidehunter on in July and just let him run off solo. I think you're missing out on the potential that the Lesh, the Witch Doctor, as well as the Elder Titan has. But then again, if LFY runs a dual lane off, the Lesh, the Witch Doctor, and the Elder Titan together can possibly just dominate and get a couple of kills. But as soon as you do that, you get the levels, you get the experience, then you need to rotate. You need to do something with that. You can't just have a passive tri lane. And that is, I think, what IG lacked in game 1. Well, in the first game, not like game 1. IG, not iG.V.
You're a goddamn hero!
So guys, for those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Riddit, RidditZDota. Check me out on Facebook, RidditZDota, or Twitter, RidditZDota. This is the second game for the day, the Chinese closed qualifiers, iG.V versus LFY. Super running mate, just quickly dropping down that ward. Let's see if iG's second team can do any better than their first team in no particular order, but iG and iG.V. Wind Ranger having that wind run up early, being able to drop down quite an aggressive ward. Both teams have that mid lane ward up as well. And it seems like... no, that is actually iG's ward here. So I like this. I like this. Having half run on the Leshrac. Getting that deep ward down to actually scout any kind of movement. Any pulls coming in. In July. Dogfight. Let's actually have a look here. Yao does have a Shadow Wave. Won't actually be able to do anything. And yeah, they're just going to abandon this completely. Meanwhile though, Monet will be able to pick up his own. So Miracle, Super, half, and Monet. But standing half here. I thought it was someone else. Oh, it is half. It is half. So it's actually going to be a mid-lesh, safe lane Dragonite, and then Elder Titan, Tidehunter, and Witch Doctor in this off. Yeah, Witch Doctor just rotating towards the bottom lane. Interesting way the way they've actually matched this up. It's Inflame up on the Wind Ranger, Afu on the Sand King. Let's see how they match up here. These two tanky strength heroes of IG. I mean, they aren't utilizing the kill potential and the complete harass potential that we spoke about earlier, but with these two tanky heroes, they might actually be able to do quite a bit. TI8 just moving in there. Good anchor smash. And sitting 4-0 versus the offlane Lycan 3-0. So, well, 4-0 there. So very even in compared. But Miracle here on the Dragonite, leading currently with 6-1. Followed up by Half, also sitting now 7-1. And then only after that it is the Lycan. Oh, I missed the first blood. Oh, okay. Please flame me. First blood coming through here by Miracle. I'm actually quite surprised. Was that a Maledict? Yeah, stun Maledict combo from the Witch Doctor, as well as the Breathe Fire damage coming in from the Dragonite. Does quite a lot, especially up onto a hero like a Lycan or even a Dazzle. But Dazzle, not quite sure why. Might not have had mana for the Shadow Grave or the levels for it. But first blood going the way of IG. I think in the IG versus Team Serenity game, IG also managed to get first blood. Or were they first blooded? Can't remember.
Radiant structures are fortified. Dire structures are fortified.
Super doing quite decent here up against Lesh, but Lesh might actually be able to get a kill. Can he burst him down? Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. Pugna trying to heal up, but he has to actually be very careful here, because if Lesh sees him, might just be able to get a lightning storm. And yeah, Lesh will go for it. One hit needed. One more. Will he get it? Nope. Actually decides to back off. Pugna has to go all the way back to base, or is he just going to ferry up a full salve for him? But he has to be careful in the meantime, trying to go in just to get the experience where he can, when he can. But knows, yeah, if he stays up forward now, he's actually going to be in a lot of trouble. Has the healing salve, and we actually see Elder Titan moving in, going to try and cancel this healing salve if he can. It will, well, he manages to take out a little bit of it. And no stun up. Level 2 up on the Elder Titan, but no Echo Stomp. So just harassment coming out here. Mid lane, Lesh already has infused raindrops. Wow. And top lane. Well, stun coming through onto the Tide Hunter, but Tide Hunter is extremely tanky. I mean, you aren't really going to do anything. There's a stomp coming in from Elder Titan. And there's the Maledict, there's the stun, the Coconut's coming through, Breathe Fire. Going to be yet another kill here for Miracle. So Miracle sitting with both kills at this point for the side of IGV. And I think he'll be very happy with that, considering that's only a level 1 Breathe Fire. Oh, mid lane, Pugna's in a lot of trouble. Well, he's not in trouble, he's just dead. Sorry, I was just having a look at the previous IG draft that was actually taking up. There's a stun in 1 second. Manages to get a good counter kill. So that's the first kill for the side of LFY. And Sand King's just going to run away. Meanwhile, middle lane, Half managed to get another kill on the Pugna. Let me just start waking up now. I was busy reading chat. People are saying IGV draft is IG draft. I'm just saying it was very similar with the Tide Hunter being picked up, the Lesh as well as the Dragonite. They are playing it completely differently though. And a smoke movement up here for the side of IGV. Super, the support super, not the carry super, or the mid lane super. Just warding up. They want to wrap around here on the bottom lane. Can they get Yao or Monet? 2 levels up in Maledict right now. There's the Maledict, the stun coming through. The stomp as well. And oh wait, no stomp just yet. No stomp just yet used, but the Maledict charge should still actually tick him down. No, the Grave's actually going to keep him alive. One more hit needed though. Dogfight actually does manage to get it with that huge right click of his, and you know, middle lane died yet again. However, they managed to get a good counter kill there. Super rotating in here with Yao. Yao just actually running in from the bottom lane. Afu from LFI, so managing to get that counter kill. Got quite a bit of gold for it. Chad, this Pugna's having a rough time up against the Lesh. I mean, Lesh is sitting on level 7 versus the level 5 Pugna at this point. 27 and 13 versus 18 and 2. This Lesh is just completely dominating this Pugna, and he's just going to continue on pushing down. Monet might be in a bit of trouble. Maledict coming through. The stun is there as well. There's the Dragon Tail as well up on the Dragon Knight. Level 2 Maledict, I think it is. Is it going to be enough? I don't think it will be enough to pop the Pugna. But middle lane, Leshrac manages to actually get 2 heroes up in the stun. Gets another kill as well. And Yao comes in to try and help out. I don't think they'll be able to do anything or get any kind of counter kill here. But yet another kill. 4 and 1 up on this Lesh. He's going to have his Yule Scepter up very fast. This is a completely different kind of game versus the previous game that we watched, IG versus Team Serenity. This time, IGV's actually taking the fight. They're winning the lane, sitting 3k up at 7 minutes in. Is a, you know, quite a significant amount. Lycan sitting 30 and 5 versus 31 and 5 up on the Tidehunter, which is his respective counterpart. Tidehunter building in towards that mech, early mech. No need for a pipe or a hood of defense, a hood just yet though. Here's the wraparound coming in. Dogfight. Is he going to be able to get a spur down? Nope. No one's going to be aggressive or push in. They just gotta play safe. People chatting in. Rules are rules in chat. Long. Miracle here on the Dragonite. Keep in mind, this is Miracle. It's not Miracle. 2 different players, 2 different regions. Currently sitting with the highest net worth. Top 3. Oh, well, TP's coming in here towards the top. He does have his Elder Dragon form. So I think we might just see an engagement coming in here. Tidehunter does have 6, but no Ravage just yet, sitting 3 and 3. There's a stun coming in onto Sand King. Sand King actually stuns himself out, but still gets double stunned here from the Coconut coming through. Does not have Maledict, or the Maledict did not actually connect on that. So I think they'll just decide to push. Before that, the top 3 net worth were all on the side of IGV. Currently, though, the leader is the Dragonite. Then it's the Lesh. Then it's In July, or In Flame here on the Windrunner. Windrunner, yeah, buddy, you're going to have to back off. Sees 4 heroes top, just got to completely abandon top. The power of Radiant is if you can take control of this area here, by taking that tower, warding up right over, and if you can ward up right over here, this means you take control of this part of the map. Oh, I'll get back to that right now. 2 heroes here on the bottom lane. Is there going to be a Shackle? Shackle shot. No Shackle just yet. And the root is there on the Lesh. Lesh does have his pulse, and there's a stun coming from the Sand King as well. Can't actually do anything. The Shackle shot onto 2 heroes right now. This might be big coming in from LFY. Half is doing a lot of damage there with the Pulse Nova, but he might be the first one to fall. No, it's actually going to be the Lycan. The stun coming in once again from the Sand King, and they finally managed to actually pick off. That's 3 heroes down for the side of IGV. 4 heroes down in exchange for only 2. Doing quite a bit of damage, but unfortunately not being able to do enough. The Lesh managed to survive for such a long time. It just wasn't enough. The rest of his team wasn't there. There was no Ravage. Level 7 up, but going for 4 levels up an Anchor Smash. I mean, if you had a Ravage there, you would have been able to get a Stomp off, and that entire fight would have changed. Don't fight as 4 or as 5 if you don't have Ravage. Back to this part on top. If you can put down a ward right here, and you take down that tier 1 tower, that means you take control of that part of the map. And what is inside of that part of the map? It is Rush. So that's why as Radiant, you always want to try and take that top tier 1 tower fast. gain control, and if you have a Rosh taking lineup, well, you generally see a lot more Rosh taking lineups on the Radiant side because of that. But another kill going in, well, going the way of LFY. So LFY all of a sudden just coming back. I mean, they were around 3k down around 7 minutes in. Nearly 4k down. Now game's pretty much even again. And let's see, bottom lane. We'll get scouts out. There's a shackle up. But that shackle though, here. Tied onto it, sitting on level 8. This time keeping the point in case he actually needs Ravage. But we'll be in quite a bit of trouble. Standing all around trees, so we'll probably just get shackle shotted. But yeah, you don't really do a lot of damage onto a Tidehunter, do you? There's no tier 1 tower just yet. TP's coming in towards bottom to actually try and help him out. Mino on the top lane. There's a net onto Lesh, but will there be enough stun coming through there from the Sand King as well? And it is going to be the Dragon Knight trying to do as much as possible. Witch Doctor drops his ulti, won't be able to do anything. Mino bottom lane. They do manage to actually pick off both heroes there. That was the Ravage used as well as the Elder Titan split earth. So a 2-for-1 trade-off. This time favoring IG. People in chat saying Pugna gets stomped on by Lesh in lane unless you max Netherward. Yeah. And do you really want to max a Netherward versus a mostly like a Dragon Knight, a Tidehunter, Elder Titan? I mean, if it was like 3 or 4 spellcasters, maybe, but I haven't seen that kind of build in a very long time. LFY in flame. Running in mid, trying to get in position to get some kind of shackle, some kind of arrow. Any smokes up here for the side of LFY? Let's have a quick look. No smoke. Well, there's one smoke up on the Dazzle, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see them smoke up soon. No tied on to Ravage, so they can be a little bit more aggressive and they can dive just a little bit further. Elder Titan doing what he can to try and delay this middle push as much as possible.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower
Can't really do much to actually try and stop this. The push coming through there from, of course, the Pugna as well as the Wind Ranger. Pugna, Wind Ranger, Lycan, just the amount of push that they can put out when they actually get their levels is just insane. So I'm actually quite surprised that it's 2 towers for 3 towers, that it's actually so close between, and that iG.V actually have more towers, or have taken more towers than LFY. $18 seconds, 15 seconds up for the Tidehunter Ravage. You know though, can they actually scout out the Dazzle? Dazzle manages to TP out. And with this Ravage being off cooldown, I mean, is it time for iG.V to actually push? LFY, what items are coming in? This is a Maelstrom up for the Wind Ranger. 14-minute Maelstrom, not too bad for in July. Lycan has level 1 Necros. I mean, it's not the fastest or the highest level that I've seen. The Dragon Knight currently sitting on 6,300 net worth versus 5,600 up on Monet. That's a pretty even game. That like one fight completely turned it around for the side of LFY. Maddie Man said you were hoping to see Inflame play Faceless Void because the Chronos or something else. Entertainment value 150. I think Void was actually banned out. I'm trying to remember if Void was banned out by LFY or if it was banned out by iG.V. Nope. Quick pick off. Missed that one, sorry. But I think it might have been IG that actually banned out the Void. No, LFY banned it out because I remember talking about it, saying the Lesh and the Witch Doctor would have been a good combo for it. LFY actually took out the Void. Oh, Monet going in. They want to get a kill onto the Tyrant. Tyrant being... I mean... Yeah, well, there's 4 of your heroes there. You'll be able to kill him quite easily. Inflame. Just getting that power shot. Easy kills, easy life. And Miracle wants to push top lane. Only level 1 dragon form. He has supports, but the supports are quite far behind, and he's probably just going to back out. So 16 minutes in, 11 for 10, less than 1k network between these two teams.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And let's have a look and see Vanguard coming up soon for the Elder Titan. Okay, so top of the network is the Pugna all of a sudden. After those kills and those towers, Pugna has jumped quite a bit up. Has a full mech up as well as the Aether Lens. Building up towards the Guardian's Greaves. The GG Boots will just disassemble the Aether Lens for that. Dragonite after that doesn't have a ball. He has his Blink Dagger up, working up towards only 1,300, 1,400 away from BKB. I think that BKB is going to be massive. There's no BKB piercing like lockdowns for him. So he'll actually be able to do a lot more during those fights. After that, Lesh. No early... I mean, this is the big difference between the two IG teams and the way that they're building this. In game number 1, IG wasn't fighting, and yet their Lesh bought an early Bloodstone. Lost a lot of the charges, if I'm not mistaken. Because they just ganked him. This Lesh... getting up a Yule Scepter, going in for that BKB, trying to frontline and actually play more of a fighting mode. Dragonite using his Outer Dragon form just to try and farm up these Ancients. And there's the smoke. We saw the smoke being purchased earlier. Let's see if they can actually get anything from the smoke. There's going to be a Lesh here, and if they can actually find the Lesh, it's going to be worthwhile. There it is. There's the Blink in forward coming in from the Sand King as well. They do manage to jump onto the Lesh. Lesh does use the Yule Scepter on himself. Will actually survive quite a bit for this. Miracle blinks in forward here on the Dragonite, and will they just... Can they turn? Can they do anything further from this? Both teams just decided to back off. Blink was shown there on the Sand King, blinking in forward, getting the stun. They did not manage to actually get that final kill on the Lesh, and Lesh will just farm up more. They will, however, get a tier 1 tower top, so I'm not sure if that smoke was worth it, but well, this BKB will be coming up soon for the Lesh, and I mean, this Lesh really needs this up versus the Pugna that now has 4 levels up in Netherworld. So having that BKB will actually allow him to fight, allow him to use that Pulse Nova, and I think they need to just try and open up as much space as possible for the Lesh to farm. Lesh have been farming up in the jungle, been pushing out the creep waves. They need a pause. So sitting on 2,300 gold, you need what, 3,975. So just over halfway there, maybe 2/3 of the way there. Who's TPing in top? It is going to be a Wind Ranger. Wind Ranger, I don't think we'll be able to kill the Lesh solo. Actually trying to though. No Blink Dagger up, won't be able to catch him. So nope. And DK, yeah, there's the BKB, I think, coming on the courier now. For the DK, the Lesh still needs his BKB up. But Tidehunter has Blink, has Ravage, has his mech up. They might actually just want to fight this. Elder Titan has his Vanguard up. This is away from the team. But we haven't actually seen a kill in, well, it was a couple... Yeah, last kill was around like 5 minutes ago, so Both teams playing it very safe, but Sand King has an inverse ruin. We'll be walking up, we'll be trying to scout out for his team. None of the two teams have actually fought. I think the last actual fight was the one where LFY just turned around and brought this game back from iG.V, and LFY actually having the gold lead for the first time in the game. Miracle will be pressuring out this tower in here with half. Glyph's actually being used now. Are we going to see the side of LFY moving into defend or just trying to counter push?
Bottom tower is under attack.
Seems like they're just going to be giving up this tier 2 tower for nothing.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant are scanning. Dire are scanning.
And well, tower's down. TP's in, very deep TP's coming in here because they do, the side of iG.V expect LFY to try and counter push, but LFY is just standing there. They're waiting for iG.V to actually move in themselves, and this might be a big kill for them. Can they actually pick up the Lesh? Can they see the Lesh there at all? Both teams just scouting and floating around with each other.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And here come the creeps. The level 3 Necros up as well. And yeah,
Tower has fallen.
the tower just, I mean, there wasn't a lot of HP left on that tower anyway. So around 7 minutes since our last kill. Both teams playing it very passively, very safely. I think, well, I mean, BKB's up on the Lesh. They smoke instantly. They want to fight. This is the exact item they were hoping for. They were looking for. The smoke was semi-scouted out here by team. Maybe they want to try and bait in half. Let's actually zoom a bit out. Ofu might get scouted out. Nope, no one's getting scouted out. The entire side of LFY, they know that something's up. They're backing up all the way to the base. They don't want to take this fight. Lycanwolf's also scouting out this Lesh. And with this BKB, this is go time.
Tower is under attack.
People in chat saying, let's just can't build Bloodstone into Bugner without BKB. You just can't play Dota. No, I agree completely. What I said earlier wasn't to say, oh, let's should have built a Bloodstone. I'm just saying there's a difference in skill build. But I also feel building up a Bloodstone, even if they didn't have a Pugner, would not have been the best. It might have, because there's a lot of physical, not a lot of magical, but the problem is if you get bursted down the whole time, as soon as you pick up your Bloodstone and you're running around with 3 or 4 charges, that early on, it's not worth it. LFY, they might just want to, you can't really kill this Tidehunter sitting on level 14, but they might want to try. The wards have actually been dropped and quite a bit of damage being done on there, or onto Injuly here. The Tidehunter is going through, BKB up on the Windranger as well. He can't actually ravage right now because it's not going to do anything. Witch Doctor is down, and that's how you're supposed to use your first 10-second BKB. It's just ram it down the throats of your opponent. iG.V playing it way too safe. They've had 2 10-second BKBs up. Well, the second one has only come up recently, but they've had the 2 BKBs up for a long time, and they've just been farming with it. They haven't been utilizing it. They haven't been forcing LFY to try and fight. And that's actually given the Windranger enough time to buy up her own BKB. What's actually coming to the courier on her now? Another Javelin. And Windranger just showing, oh, this is how you actually utilize a BKB. You run in forward, stand on the front line, and they can't do anything. There was a Ravage up on the Tidehunter. He couldn't use it. There's no counter engage coming in through from the side of iG.V, and LFY increasing their lead just a little bit. Even with 11 kills apiece, like a lot of those kills happened early on. And then, as you can see, no towers or no kills, no kills, no kills. Here's the last kill, and then that one there. So very passive over the past 10 minutes. Another smoke coming up here from iG.V. They want to try and fight. This time, let's see if they actually don't just waste the smoke by farming in lane. But they're baiting up in July here, and it's LFY. Are they going to forfeit? Oh, they've just counter-smoked themselves. They're going to be running around the side, running around the back, or they're just going to go play it safe. Alfu's trying to scout it out here. Wolves also being sent in a little bit in front. Yeah, they know they're on high ground, and with that, are we going to see a blink in 3-man stun coming in from Afu? He decides to rather not go for it. Once again, the Chinese teams just decide to play it extremely cautiously. Let's have a look at what the next item builds are going to be. So BKB nearly done here for the Lycan. Pugner also should have his BKB up within the next minute or so. That's going to be 2 new 10-second BKBs, 1 9-second BKB up for the side of LFY. I honestly feel that iG.V is missing all their timings right now, trying to outfarm. Well, let's actually see. Lesh versus Windranger both have BKBs. Who's going to be able to do what? And Windranger gets out of it alive. No, that was a 9-second BKB used, so at least it's a BKB charge down. With the Lycan and the Windranger, I'm actually trying to think here, who has the better late game? Carry-wise, I mean, if Lesh, with the BKBs, Lesh doesn't do as much. But then again, on a 5-second BKB, if Lesh survives for those 5 seconds, then Lesh does a lot of damage. So it will all depend on if they can find that quick pick, or if these fights are going to be extremely long and delayed and drawn out. So, Farm Fest once again, 28 minutes in. I don't think any of these two teams really want to fight, and I think that favors maybe LFY just a little bit more if they can get that second BKB up, which will be up in 50 gold on Pugner. We might just actually see them smoke. Here's the Bloodstone coming through. You see, I like this coming. I like this though, from the side of iG.V. Having that Bloodstone after you have some kind of extra survivability, your Yules, your BKB, then moving into a Bloodstone will allow you to stay in the fights a lot longer instead of just getting instantly popped and burst. Yeah, moving back to LFY. Here comes the BKB up for Super, and is there a smoke in the courier as well? No smoke. It might just be LFY 5-man pushing straight down mid. They have 3 BKBs up now versus 1, 2 BKBs. The other heroes don't really need the BKBs. Order Titan does have that Crimson Guard up as well for all the physical damage coming up from LFY. It's going to be interesting to see how these fights actually pan out and who manages to get the jump on who, because with the Elder Titan, the Aura, the ulti coming through, the Earth Split as well as the Ravage, followed up by the Maledict, Dragonite, Lesh. If they manage to chain stun and get everything right, they can kill the entire side of LFY. But if they don't get everything right and LFY manages to play the messy fight, split up the fight, draw the enemy teams out around, oh wait, BKB used up on the Windranger. Okay, seems like this Windranger's just using BKBs to run in aggressively. Because if LFY can take the fight, split up the fights, get the pick off, then iG.V can't really do anything about that. So iG.V has to actually take... Oh, there you go. TI8 is actually down with a gem. Ooh. As I'm talking a bunch of crap. And As usual, I like talking crap. I like talking in general. So, but that's a big pickup. That gem up is on the Sand King now. They're just going to start dewarding. And it's going to be a quick rush. No Wind Ranger there with Focus Fire. But are we going to see a... Are they going to do anything about this? There is an Earth Splitter. Very slow rush. Wind Ranger is not actually hitting rush right now. And... We're going to see the stun. Well, you actually do see some kind of initiation coming through. Lesh is there with the BKB charge up right now. They want to focus in onto the Lycan. Lycan is being stunned up right now. Does have shapeshift, but they decide to turn around. And this is going to be a complete steal coming in from iG.V, managing to actually get the rush. Super coming in with his BKB as well. And this is going to be a BKB on the Lycan as well. So BKBs everywhere. TI8 comes in with the Ravage, only managing to actually hit onto 2 heroes. Because the other 2 have BKBs up. Dragonite though, he is actually going to be the first one to fall from this. Can they get more? There's the Grave onto Wind Ranger as well. Wind Ranger though is maledicted up. Might actually drop from this when the Wind Ranger or when the Wind Run does fall. So buyback up on the Dragonite, who managed to pick up the Aegis of the Immortal. I completely missed that. It was Lesh and it was popped as well. So forcing the side of LFY to do most of the damage to rush and just say thank you, there's a free rush for us. You do lose the rush and you force a buyback up on the Dragonite, so it did cost you a lot more in the end though. But with all those 10-second BKBs used, that's the problem. That's what I brought up earlier is you have all these new BKBs now on LFY. All of your big ultis on iG.V don't really matter for now. Chat saying, I'm getting old with every minute without clashes. Well, yeah, me too. And then when something does happen, it's such a surprise to me. I'm like, wait, what? What's going on, guys? Hood of Defiance. Is this going to be his full pipe? Hey, pipes up. So the pipe's pretty much going to negate the epicenter. Or a lot of it anyway. And LFY busy pushing down mid. Partner getting a bit of damage onto the tier 2 tower as well as the TI8. But with all these creeps, they just, well, got cleared up. Half damage has been done onto the tower right now, and here they go, and Shackle to the Dragonite as well as the TI8. BKB is up on the Wind Ranger. Can they actually do anything to follow up with his Miracle? Well, Miracle, he uses his BKB. And blinking forward on the TI8, he does not have Ravage. So after those BKBs have been used, they just decided to back off. Did a bit more damage onto the tier 2 tower. But with that Shackle shot onto TI8 as well as the Dragonite, just kept them away. And with no dragon form up after this, he's probably just going to move it to the jungle farm, and then only in 80 seconds again will we see iG.V look to do anything. Chat says Farm Town. Yeah, it does sort of feel like Farm Simulator right now. But guys, keep in mind, this is the TI8 closed qualifiers. This is a best of one. You know, you want to make sure you win. You can't just go at this knowing, oh, we still have 2 more games, or this is the best of 3. This is the best of one. And if you make a mistake here, you could possibly just lose 2 towers or racks and the game is done. And with a crap ton of money on the line, hey, I would also play it as safe as possible. TI8 does have Ravage, does have a pipe, does have GG boots as well. And just drawing all the creeps back, making sure they don't lose this tier 2 tower just yet. They managed to do a bit of chip damage onto the tier 2 bot of LFY. Is this Farmville? Reddit's casting Farmville. Okay guys, I'll give that a shot maybe tomorrow. Kappa 123. Lesh will have a Shiva's Guard up pretty soon. But wait, what items coming in for the Dragon Knights? Yeah, Assault Cuirass. Also nearly ready. Ooh, BKB used on the Lycan. That's actually good. And the thing is, with all these BKBs up on LFY, very strong. I spoke about it early, but if you can constantly just make or force them to use those charges one by one without actually taking fights, then it's completely worth it. And Dazzle, buddy, I think you're dead now. You just got blown up. You just got popped. The water's down as well. We'll be down for 20 seconds, so that this just means the side of IGV can actually push and use as many spells as they want. No Ravage, or no mana for Ravage. But with that tier 2 down, we'll probably... Ooh, double damage up on the Dragon. I couldn't really see that. Might just see a little bit of chip damage onto the tier 3 tower. Like 1 or 2 hits. And they're going to back off. Play it safe. Boots will travel up on the ledge, so he could just TP wherever he needs to. Sand King, though, still has the gem. Or the gem from IG. Having that AO disc does keep him alive just that little bit longer. Top net worth in the game is the Lash. 15 charges up on his Bloodstone. Does have his full Shiva's Guard up now as well, so they might be looking to fight, but it's actually going to be IGV. LFY. That smoke up. So let's see. Where's the jump going to come from? They see the Astral Spirit and they might have just been scouted out. Yeah, they're scouted out. The entire side of IGV just back off. Good map awareness there coming in from the side of IGV. Top of the net worth is half, like I mentioned. Then it is the Lycan. Lycan does have that BKB up. Nearly has the full AC up. I'm quite surprised they actually want to try and push before that. Super. He's dropped his Death of Water as well. There's a Blink inside coming through. Ravage as well onto a couple of heroes. Will they be able to get the first kill onto the Pug now? The Earth Splitter was there as well. They want to turn around. Can they? There is a Shallow Grave, so Dazzle might just be able to survive a little bit longer. Quite a split up fight there. I didn't actually catch quite a bit of that. And Dazzle will actually drop me on top lane. Lycan just pushing up this tier 3 tower. They do not have a glyph. This tier 3 tower is going to drop. One more hit needed. Can't actually get the counter kill. Lycan does he actually have his BKB? He does have his BKB. He's just going to TP out. So that's a tier 3 tower. Oh, maybe thought that kill was going to be there. That's a tier 3 tower down. No, Windranger is in a bit of trouble himself. Still going for the kill onto the side outer. GG boots are used. Windranger does get killed eventually. Coming up here from Miracle, and it is going to be the Sand King, and he's just going to drop as well. So that's actually 4 heroes down for the side of LFY. Messy fight. I missed quite a bit of it as well. But IGV, patience panned off. They did lose their tier 3 tower, but they got 4 kills in return. And this is going to be, they might actually just lose their own tier 3 tower. However, Pugna is already back up. But yeah, tier 3 tower is going to go down. There's nothing they can really do about it. Pugna, he's dropped his Nether Ward. There's a blinking forward from the Dragon Knight onto the Pugna. Pugna is in a lot of trouble right now. He gets though graved up here by the Dazzle. And well, he's being thrown up in the air. He's Yuled. He's BKB'd. Trying to run in forward. Monet up on the Lycan. Just trying to right click up on the Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight's extremely tanky. Half. He wants to move around and actually rejoin the fight. But Dragon Knight managed to TP out of that one alive. So once again, using BKB charges and getting that tier 3 tower in return. They do scout out Rosh is back up, and I think LFY will also know that. Trying to maybe get a quick kill. Can they get the pick off here onto the Windranger? Yules is used, stun onto the Windranger, but the BKB is there as well. Can Windranger do anything about this? Can they get a kill? It's a 3-on-1 right now. Windranger runs away, but with no BKB up on the Windranger, this might just open up Rosh. And all of a sudden, a lot is happening. Oh, well, my mouse is also going crazy, but a lot is happening. Blinking forward there from the tide. they got their gem back? Question mark? Yes, they did. Not going for a rush right now. There is a Ravage up. There's an Earth Splitter up. Elder Dragon form. They have everything they want. And LFY don't have BKBs or BKB charges up on the Wind Ranger or the Lycan does. So are we going to see a push, or is that just them poking and prodding, trying to find a weakness? Yep. The pings are coming out. Seems like they want to go onto the shrine right now. Let's see. Pugner has his Aeon Disc up now. I like this. I mean, the big thing is the initial mass amount of burst coming in from iG.V, and with all these Aeon Discs, it's going to keep you alive a lot longer. It's going to keep you alive through the Ravage, through the Earth Splitter, through the Pulse Nova, the Maledict, like initial, like all of the initial procs of everything. It's going to keep you alive through that. And with quite a few Aeon Discs up on the side of LFY, there's a blink in forward and the stun coming in from the Sand King. Shackle shot coming in, not actually managing to hit onto anyone. Dragon form used up by Miracle, and BKB used on the Wind Ranger again. So no, well, if I was the side of iG.V, knowing there's no BKB up on the Wind Ranger, move into rush. Does sort of open it up. However, there are 3 heroes here on the side of LFY. Towards the top lane. Lycan also used to shapeshift. Oh, Lesh going in for the dazzle. Well, actually doesn't go for the stun. Well, we'll go for the stun now. Doesn't go for the stun to actually just pick off the dazzle first. Dazzle delaying things just that little bit longer, allowing the Lycan to get out. TP out, free TP home. And the Sand King still standing here. Wanting to try and make sure they have good wards down. Make sure they can actually jump into the rush pit if need be. And the pings are coming in now for the side of iG.V. They want to take rush. And it's going to be a free rush. Can't see LFY really doing anything about this. Wolves are coming in. Are we going to see a little deny? Well, they have a gem, so not going to happen. Still taking a lot longer than what I actually thought it would. And are we going to see Sand King using his epicenter? Well, he just goes in, gets a double burrow strike off right now. He actually, well, the Aeon Disc is procced, and he stacks the Aegis of the Immortal. The Witch Doctor procced his ulti as well, dropped his ulti, did not actually land onto anyone. Another one to turn around. Lestrax in a lot of trouble himself. He have the cheese. The BKBs are used. The Ravagers used onto 2 heroes right there. They are both going to fall, and this is the power wall. When you do not have your BKBs up anymore, even if you do, it's not going to help. A 4 hero burrow strike coming in from the side of LFY on the Sand King. But after stealing that Aegis, very well played. You see, this is the problem when there's not a lot of fights happening early on. I get complacent and I actually start just getting chill and sitting back and casting, and then when big things happen like this, I miss a lot of it. Whereas if there's a lot of action from the beginning, I'm actually used to it. Sand King managed to get an insane start off, managed to stack the Aegis. His Aeon Disc was procced, then he died. His Aegis was, well, with the Aegis, he managed to actually get out of that. The problem is I did not see anything else that happened in that entire fight. So, yeah, well, there's a stun in onto super, breathe fire, Aeon Disc is procced, and now you're in quite a bit of trouble. Sand King TPing all the way back in. Does get slept up, and the buyback is used here by the Lycan. Shapeshift also used. He can't really push in, like, any further than this, because if he does, he might just die. And that will be game. So next time I'm just going to zoom out, focus a bit more on the rest of the fight. I mean, Wind Ranger with a 5-second BKB. Ooh, can they actually get this kill on the Elder Titan? Stun. What? Question mark?
I can't believe what we're seeing! What just happened?
Yeah, no idea. Windranger having that 5-second BKB did quite a bit of damage there, but I don't think it was enough. The Lash survived, sitting with 23 Bloodstone charges right now. You can't just pop the Lash that easily like you could have in the beginning. And this is what I said. I don't know if the side of iG.V have the carries to actually take this through unless they get the perfect initiation. But right now they do. The longer the Lash survives in the fight, the more damage he's actually going to put out. And iG.V is just going to clump up. They're going to stand together. They're going to stay together so that they, the auras bounce off each other. The Assault Curas, the Tide Hunter, the Elder Titan, everything works off of each other. Side of LFY, they're struggling right now. Epicenter wasn't used on that fight here. I'm quite surprised. Just a blink, the stun in, Aeon Disc was proc, then he died straight after that. No Epicenter to try and get the kill. Ooh, let's track. Just as I give Lash the compliment, then he goes and dies. Just when I say it's extremely hard to kill him, he's like, nope, let me show you how easy it is to feed.
Radiant's bottom shrine is under attack. Radiant's bottom shrine has fallen.
People asking how's LFY not a direct invite. I think they changed the roster if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I think maybe it was Yao that actually got. I honestly can't remember who changed. I think it was DDC in, and then Yao in and DDC went out. People are saying in chat, BKB for nothing.
Radiant
Yeah.
scanning.
Aeon Disc is such an important item for late game scenarios nowadays. I agree, dude. It's, one of those things where, especially with the way the current meta is, if you can jump and burst, then you will win that fight. But Aeon Disc literally stops you from being burst for a few seconds. That's it. But that's all that you need. Once you have those few seconds, that's the difference between when you can pop your BKB, your Yules, when the fight can change. Because now all of the big ultis, that's why you hardly see teams going for those big, long ulti cooldown team fight like heroes. Like those wombo combos you used to see of old, where you have 3 or 4 big team fight ults. As soon as they're ready, you would group up, you would force down a lane, and then you would force them to group up to defend. You would throw your big team fight ults, and then you would play defensive for the next 2 minutes while all your ults regen. You don't see that a lot nowadays because with all those big ults, you throw all of them and then you have 3 Aeon Discs on the enemy team. Those big ults are technically wasted. That's why you see the likes of Bloodseeker, you see those kinds of heroes actually coming back in right now because it's quick fights. It's quick fights, in and out the whole time. But anyway, let's focus on this bottom push coming in here for the side of iG.V. The Netherward is down. Dragonite busy coming in, trying to destroy the Netherward at this point. And they do a bit of chip damage onto the tower, put the tower on half HP. They will back out from that. I'm not quite sure why. Dragon Form was literally just used. So they decide to, well, I mean, that's interesting because the Netherward was popped. A lot of spells were popped, and they decide, well, we're just going to back off. Well, let's see. Can they get the jump onto the Lycan? He has 4 of his teammates behind, and they smoked up, but I think that might have actually been scouted out. Top lane, Lesh might be in a bit of trouble if he actually decides to stay here. Let's see, the smoke is here. Gonna be a big kill for them if they actually manage to get the kill onto Half. But guess what? Ladies and gentlemen, Half is like, nope. I TP all the way bottom with my boots of travel. And that's a full smoke and a rotation completely wasted by the side of LFY. Moved a little bit too slow. Oh, there's the stun in onto Lesh. Lesh being drained up. Not really, well, it doesn't really feel like it's doing any damage at all onto the Lesh right now. Managed to get the tier 3 tower, a little bit of chip damage onto the range racks. And are we going to see any full-on engagement, or is iG.V, are they just going to back out from this? Natural order plus that. Oh, there's the blink in forward. Good stun coming in, but it's a ravage there on the Tide Hunter. But all of a sudden, you just saw all those Aeon Disc proc. The BKBs can now actually be used, and now it's going to be the counter initiation coming through for the side of LFY. The Wolf is used, and a good shackle onto the Dragon Knight, but they can't really do any damage onto the Dragon Knight. They can't do anything. LFY managed to survive. The Aeon Discs were procced. But what do they do now? At this point, does not seem like they can really do anything. They're lacking in quite a bit of damage, even though there is a Nathan Ward here, and they don't really care. They're jumping in onto the Lycan. Lycan gets forced off the way. Glimmer came up as well. Lycan does have his nullifier, so he does do quite a bit of damage, but he can't really do anything further from that. It's just going to be in July here. He's just schooling at that point, trolling. He's taunting as he's running away. He does eventually die, and with this Lesh, busy running in, might have overstayed his welcome. The sun comes in from Afu onto the Lesh. Lesh is decrept up as well, but he's still going in strong. He's still trying to get kills at this point, and he's healing with, well, he's going to die. No, he's denied. He just denied himself. So having a look at that fight, that was a 3-4-1 exchange. So LFY, no, that was actually more. Sure of it. LFY actually doing quite okay there, but they've lost 2 full sets of racks. And in July, just taunting his way out of there, 4-staffing himself out on the Tide Hunter, nearly getting away. But that power shot coming through from the Wind Ranger, I just managed to get that kill. I mean, if he got out of that, the complete disrespect and BM coming in from in July there, running into everyone and start taunting and backstroking between the entire team as you 4-staff away. I mean, that just goes to tell the story of this game so far. Now, keep in mind, guys, what I read in chat is 5 minutes late. So 5 minutes ago, when they tried to get that kill, I think on the Lesh, and they missed. They said no vision there, can't judge. I'm not judging at all, guys. It's just, it was, I mean, they went for that smoke play. If they could have picked off the Lesh there before the Lesh TP bottom, that would have delayed this entire game even further, managing to drop the Lesh's Bloodstone charges with that drop in. Yeah, with that drop in Bloodstone charges, they might have actually been able to play aggressively. It was just one of those moments. You know, there's every now and then there's a key moment where you say, if this specific thing went differently, the game could have changed. And I think that 4-man smoke, when they tried to kill the Lesh here, when they smoked up this way around, if that went differently and they picked off the Lesh before the Lesh boots have traveled bottom, we might have been in a different position in this game. But there's a Ravage once again. Good stun coming in from the Sand King. Aeon Discs are procced again. Witch Doctor ulti, full duration ulti coming through at this point. But Monet, he's busy just attacking onto Super at this point. And no one has died just yet. Another stun coming in from the Dragon Knight. Awful on the Sand King. And we're putting in so much work for the side of LFY, but is it enough? Another blink in forward here by the Tide Hunter. The Maledict actually does miss. No one has dropped just yet, but there's the Epicenter being charged up at this point. He's just farming creeps with that Epicenter, not actually doing anything. And after all of that, no one has fallen just yet. TP, Sand King, he will get out of that. And I think it's going to be the poor Dazzle. He will pay with his life. Instant buybacks. I have to say, even through these fights, where these fights have been going badly, Afu on the Sand King has actually been playing insanely well. He's been getting 2 or 3 or 4 Blink Burrow Strike combos. He's been sealing Aegises. LFY, they're behind, but Afu at this point is man of the match for me, just with the way that he's been playing and how he's positioned himself so far. Oh, there's BKB used up on the Lesh, getting the stun onto the Pugna. Aeon Disc is fucked up right there. Once again, Afu coming through, getting a good 2-man stun off. There's no Ravage up right now. If they can't actually do anything, but the Witch Doctor does have his second ultimate up, and he does pop it. There's a Maledict charge onto Afu right now. Afu might actually survive. They managed to get the kill onto the Dragon Knight. I missed that somehow. Dragon Knight does buy back, knows that he has to try and, well, they have to defend this Aegis. So after all of that, I mean, there was a couple of kills, a couple of deaths, a couple of buybacks, but not really that much. A lot was actually used. Now, after all the big ulti like durations, the thing about a Witch Doctor's ult, it's 80 seconds. Witch Doctor used, this was an 80-second fight technically, because he used the ult twice at the start of the fight and then towards the end of the fight again. So for 80 seconds they were fighting. The problem is though, you have 150 cooldown ult on the Ravage, and you have a 100-second cooldown ult on the Earth Splitter. But Earth Split is back up. Ravage is also back up in a couple of seconds. And we should see iG.V looking to fight again. Sheepstick being built here by the Pugglot. That will help a lot, especially with the short duration cooldowns. Let's have a look. Can Arfu steal yet another Aegis? He is preparing for it. Look at that. Tranquil Boots in the backpack. He wants it. Arfu, can you do it again? Just positioning himself, making sure his Blink Dagger doesn't get cancelled. And they've smoked up on high ground, and there's the blink in forward. Going in on ball, actually popping the Aeon Disc. The BKB, the Earth Split is actually being used up right now as well. Monet, he's running in. He does have his Nullifier if they actually want to use it. Nullifier is used. Can they focus on anyone? Can they do anything? Tide Hunter still has Ravage if he wants to use it. BKB is up on the Wind Ranger, busy running away. Blink it forward on the Dragon Knight. Does have a Dragon Tail, but did not actually use it. Mino, Arfu, he's just farming up creeps. He is going to go in for that Aegis steal again. The pings are there. The entire side of iG.V just backing off. They know they can't afford to give away this Aegis. Aegis is, I mean, this is a refresher. And it seems like LFY, they're actually going to try and steal this and slap this, but here comes the stun coming in. There's the Ravage onto 4 heroes. That's on, well, that's going to be a big problem for the side of LFY. LFY, Arfu, he might actually be able to get the stun. Can they get a kill onto Rush? Where's the stats coming in? No stats this time. Miracle actually manages to pick up the Aegis. That's 3 heroes down for LFY. And I just started laughing there and missed the complete fight. GG being called by LFY. And, well, no GG. Wait, what? Lycan? Okay. Sorry about that last fight. I just started laughing there for some reason. I couldn't decide. I was having an argument with myself in my brain. Was that a 4 hero Ravage or a 5 hero Ravage? I don't know. Maybe it was 4, maybe it was 5. And as soon as I start having an argument with myself while I'm busy saying something different, that's why I just started laughing, and I'm just like, well, screw it. That fight or that cost or that hype was dead. It killed it. But iG.V, congratulations, beating the side of LFY. A very good game. This wasn't that iG.V was dominating the entire time. It was a very balanced and actually, even game. It was just LFY used, I think, they picked up 3 BKBs early on, which is amazing to have. But then you need to group up. You need to utilize those BKBs, which they did on certain occasions. The problem was, which is, I think, more of a credit to iG.V. iG.V baited out a lot of those BKBs, and as soon as those BKBs were baited out, they would push. And then LFY couldn't defend. Then they would bait out Wind Ranger's BKB again, then they would push straight after that. And they just played methodically and clinically to that point. And I think that is the main reason iG.V won here, is they were just a lot more clinical in their movements and their rotations than the side of LFY. But extremely well played to both teams. Guys, I think I still have one more game coming up today. Maybe 2. It is C-Deck versus iG.V. Wait, is that today? Yeah, C-Deck versus iG.V. Then after that, I have Team Serenity versus Young Dumb as my last game. No, that can't be right. Yeah, it is. So guys, stay tuned. I'll be back with the next game in a few minutes. Bye-bye.